Good morning and welcome to Muscle Maintenance with In Shape Fitness. I'm Kim Watkins, your trainer for Tuesday, March 19th. This is a level 2 difficulty workout, which means that we're taking the foundational building blocks that we started yesterday and adding just a slight layer of difficulty with each of the 6 moves. We will once again do each move twice, each set twice rather. The first set will be instructional, the second set will be the flow set where we move very quickly through the entire routine. Okay, but starting with a warm-up, go ahead and stand up for me. If you're not standing already, shoes are definitely optional. I actually prefer bare feet for these workouts. You're going to march in place for 30 seconds. Time starts now. Get those shoulders back. Make sure that your chest is being lifted with your breath. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Engage your abdominal muscles and tuck in your tailbone so that your pelvis is completely vertical. And now you're lifting your knees up to hip level at least and landing lightly on the balls of your feet as you press down and continue marching for another couple of seconds. Swing your arms forward and back. Very good. Okay, now extend your arms out to your sides. Lift those arms up, make little circles, make them a little bit bigger, and now start kicking your heels back towards your butt. So you're reversing or inverting the foot movement. Instead of lifting your knees, you're now kicking up your heels to the back and trying to strike your own butt, kick your own butt in the process. Time is going, 30 seconds for this move, and then we're going to move on to the first set, the instructional sets. Remember, 6 moves and no equipment. This is a fairly easy workout still. It will be a little more difficult each day, of course, this week, but we will be using the same sort of sequence of moves and poses in the entire week, for the entire week. All right, now, what I want you to do is to stagger your feet. Bring your feet so that they're touching. Your heels and toes are touching, but then stagger the right foot behind the left foot a little bit. Unless you're left-handed, in which case stagger the left leg back behind the right a little bit so that the ball of the left foot is kind of, the ball of the left foot is sort of centered in the crook of the arch on the right foot, right? I got that opposite. Anyway, the right foot is to the rear. Extend your arms out to the sides. Now you're going to turn your head right to left, all the way to the right, and then all the way to the left at that sort of pace. Let's start the time now. It's the only thing you're doing. The reason that you're staggering your feet, unlike yesterday where we kept our feet next to each other, is I'm trying to minimize, to make you imbalance a little bit more each day. And so this is a slight more difficult move than with your feet just totally together. Your base of your weight on the floor connecting to the floor is now more narrow than it was yesterday, so you're going to have a little more of a balance issue. As we progress through the week, you'll end up on one foot, and we'll see how well you're able to turn your head when you're balancing on one foot. Okay, now bring your feet back in line with one another and press your knees together. You're doing a chair squat, so you're going to sit down and back into an imaginary chair, trying not to let your knees go past the tips of your toes. So you're really going to shift your body weight to your heels. Extend your arms out forward for balance. Take a deep breath in as you lower your body, and then as you exhale, contract your glutes, very important, and press your heels into the floor. Time starts now. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Really focus on developing and maintaining that breathing pattern where you take breaths in through your nose and then exhale deeply through your mouth as you exert the muscle in its most intense compartment of the individual repetition. You want to exhale on the exertion, which is why when you press your heels in and contract your glutes, you're exhaling at that point, inhaling on your way down. With some exercises, it really doesn't matter because there's so much aerobic activity going on. Just the continuous breathing is the most important thing, and there are different ratio patterns of inhaling and exhaling that you can attune yourself to. But with the strength move like that, you really want to make sure you're doing it right. Okay, now you're going to do a little twist with your bunny hops. So yesterday we did simple bunny hop, right up and down, landing lightly on the balls of your feet, and with a slight bend in the knee, for shock absorption. Same thing today, hands on your hips. only I want you to twist a little to the right, twist a little to the left. Time starts now. Now, if you're fairly fit, or if you're trying to really get some of that rotation in to help burn some calories along the waistline, make the turn, the twist a little more severe, right? Just keep breathing, keep your back straight, keep your tailbone tucked in. Another very important component to these exercises is focusing on your posture while you're moving. I know it's a lot of stuff to remember all at the same time, but I will keep reminding you, and you will have to keep listening to my reminders. But that's what's important. To be efficient as an exerciser, you have to practice the moves and practice the right emphases over and over and over again. Okay, lower your body down to the floor, hands and knees position. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And you're going to do a bird dog today. This is very important stability work for the back. You're going to extend your right arm forward, not up, but just straight forward, turning your palm towards your head and making sure your bicep is near your ear. Then extend the left foot back, pointing the left toes. Pause for a moment and then switch. Left arm and right leg. Time starts now. Yeah, the mistake a lot of people make, especially people that are, sort of slaves to the idea of going into a gym day in and day out and thinking that once they're in the gym, something magical is happening to their bodies because they've, swiped their card through that swiper and they're there and they might be on the elliptical or the bike or whatever, watching the news or reading a book, and lo and behold, things aren't happening. But that's because the body is kind of smarter than you think it is. You've got 5 more seconds, by the way. You really have to focus on the contractions. You have to focus on your breathing. Really pay attention to your posture. Let's move on now to some push-ups. So we're going to do push-ups again on your knees today. If you're really super strong and you want to try these on your toes, that's fine. But as opposed to yesterday where we simply did modified push-ups on your knees, which is actually really a push-up on the bottom part of your thigh, because you're really not actually resting on the knee. You want to rest on the bottom of the thigh where you make a 45-degree angle with the floor. Now, what you're going to do today is you're going to do one push-up, to just do one push-up. And then you're going to do a pulse at the top. It's like the top inch or two of the top part of the push-up. So you're just bending your elbows ever so slightly, pushing up, down, at that kind of pace. That's going to take about 10 seconds. Then you're going to go all the way to the floor with your nose, almost. And then you're going to do that bottom inch pulse. Okay, let's get started. So do one push-up. Inhale on your way down. Exhale as you straighten your arms and push back up. Make sure your hands are wide enough that you're recruiting your chest muscles. Try to keep your elbows close to your body. Now that top inch, that little pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Pause for a second. Now bend those elbows as severely as you can. Get the nose as close to the floor. And last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Even strong upper body individuals have a hard time with that sometimes, so don't feel badly if you weren't able to do all 10. And go ahead and flip your body over though. We're going to do some tricep dips on the floor now. Your hands are once again underneath your shoulders, but they are, your body is facing up now. Your feet are on the floor. Press those toes into the floor and make sure that your pinky toes and heels are in line. No feet turning out. And then lift your hips up into tabletop. And let's do a tricep dip. So you want to bend your elbows, and then as you inhale, lower your body, lowers down, and then exhale as you push back up. Time starts now. And make sure that you keep all 4 corners of each of your feet on the floor. Press those toes into the floor. You will feel an activation of the back muscles of the leg, your butt and your hamstrings. And that is like an even and equilibrated distribution of your body weight. When you let your toes kind of float up, you have 3 seconds, by the way. You end up putting a lot of strain on your lower back and your quads absorb a lot of your body weight. You don't want to do that, all right? Stand on up for me now. You've done the first set. Really good job. These are good moves and this is a good workout, but if you are doing everything I'm saying, you are learning invaluable technique in terms of a lifelong habit you will hopefully develop by virtue of these workouts. These are not about dropping 100 pounds in 2 weeks, or 2 months, like, The Biggest Loser on NBC. This is about a functional fitness existence that helps you enjoy your life and do what you want to do and feel good about your body weight. Okay, on that note, stagger your feet once again. You can switch your foot position so that the other foot is behind the foot you had behind the first time, and stretch your arms out to the sides. Engage those tummy muscles. Make sure your tailbone's tucked in and your abs are really super, super ready for this, because you want to balance your weight as you turn your head. Time starts now. And remember, keep turning your head. I'm just going to say this is the flow set. So once we stop this move, and I'll tell you what's coming up next in just a minute, you will move very quickly to the next thing, which is a chair squat. And in fact, it's going to be coming up here in 10 seconds. Great job so far, by the way. You really also want to think about how far your head can turn. All right, you want to make sure you can see down your arm length. So by the end of the week, hopefully we'll have some movement in that direction as well. Okay, chair squat now. Time starts now. Press those knees together. You've got one leg as your lower body. You're sitting down and back into your imaginary chair. Make sure you exhale as you press back up, pressing the heels into the floor, squeezing your glutes, and you're 10 seconds in. You might not do that many of these, maybe 6. You can pick up the pace as you really perfect that performance. That precision of movement is the most important thing, especially at the change of directions, where you go down and then squeeze and shift your body weight again as you press your heels into the floor. That's where you get all the good stuff. All right, let's start hopping. Hopping with the twist, going now. 30 seconds. Make sure you're twisting through the waist, and make sure you're landing lightly on the balls of your feet with a slight bend in your knee for shock absorption. Everyone should be able theoretically to jump a little bit. If you have major medical or orthopedic issues, talk to your doctor. Don't do this. Skip or jog or do something else with individual legs. But the neurotransmitter activation from plyometric moves is invaluable to your metabolism. It really helps everything. It helps keep your body alive. You want the circuits flowing, blood moving, air and nutrients, passing through cell membranes and all this other stuff. I'm taking a physiology course, so pardon the science. Okay, let's do a bird dog. So get your body down on the floor again, hands and knees, and time starts now. I'll give you a few extra seconds on the bird dog just because it feels so good to work those back muscles and develop stability in terms of the paraspinal muscles, which are, they're muscles on the sort of towards the surface under your skin. And then there are typically other muscles underneath those muscles, smaller muscles. And even if, like, for example, you have a fairly strong and well-sculpted rear end, you have other muscles on the inside connecting the bones and connecting joints that sort of, it's a very complicated area, your pelvic area. There's a whole series of internal glute muscles. And sometimes, even though the external ones are well developed and maybe strong, the internal ones suffer. Now you're doing your push-ups again. Okay, let's start your time now. Do 2 regular push-ups just to get your mind ready. And let's do that tap pulse, that top inch right there. I'll count you down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and good. Okay, now all the way down. Nose almost to the floor. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn your body over, finishing up with those tricep dips. Squeeze those tummy muscles, put your feet on the floor, pinky toes and heels in line. Hands on the floor, fingers forward, bend your elbows to lower your body, and time starts now. Last 30 seconds, we will bring it right to 15 minutes. And this is your Tuesday workout. You can definitely feel free to skip the gym. You have no guilt here, because this is a really solid muscular and flexibility workout that, combined with an active life where you take the stairs and go for a walk every day, eat well, eat minimally, and you will save yourself a lot of years on your life. You will enjoy your life so much more. I'm Kim Watkins from In Shape Fitness in New York City. I'll be back tomorrow for the level 3 difficulty workout, a little harder than today. And we will see you then. Have a wonderful day.